In this video, we'll look at how the plural S marker sounds different in different words, depending on what the last syllable of the word is. Let's start by looking at this blue group here, where all the words end in a voiceless consonant. Sheet, cup, clock, tablecloth, chopstick. So in this case, all of these sounds are voiceless sounds. There's like a magnetic attraction between these voiceless sounds and the voiceless S sound. They combine together to create plurals. For example, 2 sheets. Practice that ending. Tss, tss. Make sure to not add any other sounds. It's just that final T sound and an S. Sheets. 2 sheets. Likewise, cups, ps, ps, cups, cups. Clocks, ks, ks, 2 clocks. Tablecloths, ths, tablecloths. For this one, you have to start with your tongue outside of your mouth and move it quickly behind your teeth to get that S sound. It's a little bit tricky. Try it slowly. Ths, ths, tablecloths. Chopsticks, ks, ks, chopsticks. The second group here all ends in a voiced sound. Glove, pepper, crab, bicycle, tomato, game. You'll be able to feel the vibration in your throat as you say these sounds. V, b, l, o, Well, there's also a force of magnetism here between a voiced sound when we put the plural marker on it. Instead of a voiceless s, that would be very difficult to say. Gloves. Instead, the sound is more like a zzz, a voiced zzz. Voiced and voiced go together magnetically. Practice these words with that zzz ending. Gloves, 2 gloves. Vs. Make sure not to add a vowel in between the v and the z. It's just 2 consonants that go together. Gloves. Peppers, 2 peppers. Ers. Crabs, 2 crabs. Bz. Bicycles, 2 bicycles. Tomato, 2 tomatoes. O's. Games, 3 games. Mms. Make sure again that when you say these clusters at the end, that the 2 consonants are like touching each other with no sound in between. So that's how this rule works for words that end in voiceless and voiced sounds. But there's one special rule for words that end in these 6 sounds: s, z, sh, zh, ch, and j. These sounds are very similar to a s or z sound, or in some cases they are exactly the same. Try to combine these sounds with another s or z. For example, if I have the word fridge and I want to make it plural, I would add, according to our voicing rule, I would add a z. But listen to what that sounds like. It's really hard to say. Fridge, fridge. You can almost not hear that there's a z at the end because these sounds are so similar. Listen to this one. With watch, watch. According to our voiceless rule, I should put just a S sound at the end of this word to make it plural. Watch. But it's really hard to do that. So we do something very interesting. We add a syllable. We add is at the end of these words. And this makes the word have an extra syllable. This helps the ear to distinguish between the sounds to know that it's plural. Try it with me. Fridge. 2 fridges. Did you hear how there were 2 syllables? Fridges. Watch. 2 watches. Watches. Danish. A very delicious dessert. 2 danishes. Danishes. Match. 2 matches. Matches. Again, I'm adding one more syllable to make it easier to hear. Dish. Dishes. Dish. Dishes. And here we have the word box. And the last sound is actually S in this word, right? Box. And so if I have to put an S on that to make a plural, it would sound like this. Box. And that's really hard to hear as being a plural word. So I do the same thing. I add is. Boxes. 2 boxes. The most common mistake that students make when making these words plural is by adding a syllable to words that end in voiced sounds. So for example, you hear a lot of students say things like gloves and crabs when they're trying to make it plural. So try to avoid that by practicing these clusters slowly. And if you can master this magnetic sound rule, then people will always know how many things you're talking about. A fun way to practice this would be talking about going shopping and see if you can add up to 10 items. So for example, I'm going shopping and I'm going to buy 2 hats, 3 apples, 4 dishes, 5 boxes, 6 games, 7 tablecloths, 8 fridges, and 9 sheets. If you can practice that and say it perfectly, then you're on the right track for using this rule of plural magnetism.